cut it, 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 cut it. Them bricks is way too high, you need to cut it.
Hello and welcome back once again to the 2016 coverage of the Arby's Classic, the 34th annual Arby's Classic. We got another consolation bracket game today. Our first one of the day just wrapped up. Sullivan East beat Dobbins Bennett 77-74. I'm Will Ellison here with Ryan Flick.
What a game it was as the Patriots pulled it out near the end. In command most of the second half and surrendered near the end of Dobbins Bennett, sent it into overtime, and the Patriots made some big free throws and ended up staying alive.
And right now we got Sandy Creek and Greenville. We're going to send it down to the PA for lineups, and then we will be back.
For the visiting Green Devils, at wing, 5'11", a senior, number 5, Caden Ramsey. At guard, 6'3", a sophomore, number 11, Dorian Goddard. At guard, 5'9", a senior, number 22, Dylan DeBusk. At wing, 6'1", a senior, number 23, Takeem Young. And at forward, 6'2", a sophomore, number 24, Logan Shipley. The Green Devils are led by head coach Brad Woolsey, assisted by Nathan Hale, Andy Barnett, and Brian Everhart. And now here's the starting lineups for the Patriots of Sandy Creek High School. At forward, 6'7", a senior, number 1, Evan Jester. At guard, 6'7", a sophomore, number 2, T.J. Bickerstaff. At forward, 6'8", a junior, number 3, Xavier Brewer. At forward, 6'4", a senior, number 4, Eric Williams. And a guard, 6'4", a junior, number 5, Jared Godfrey. The Patriots are led by head coach Mac McKissick Sr., assisted by Tim Bickerstaff, A.J. Ellis, and Reginald Fuller. Official scorer Phil Boer, clock operator Ron Wallace, game officials Ron Barnett, Mark Hale, and Frank Carson.
And we are back after we got our starting lineups for the Greenville Green Devils and the Sandy Creek Patriots. 2 Patriot games back-to-back. Sullivan East, of course, won the first now. Sandy Creek is going to look to defeat the Green Devils in the second. And the tip is going to go to Sandy Creek. Sandy Creek in the white, Greenville in the green and gray. Beautiful green and gray uniforms for the Green Devils, who are standouts on the football field, but also pretty good on the basketball court. Greenville every year a state title contender on the gridiron. Sandy Creek, more of a basketball school from what I could infer. One of the tallest teams in the tournament, lost in the opening round to Christ School, another team that sports green and gray. And it looks like the ball is going to be going to Greenville to open up after a turnover by the Sandy Creek Patriots.
Immediate full court press here by Sandy Creek as well.
Relentless.
As you mentioned, they are a tall team. Love what they do with their jerseys as well. Their starters are numbers 1 through 5. I don't know if that's a tradition for them or what, but
that is really cool though. Yeah, that's neat. You never see that anymore. Everybody now has weird numbers. People are using 0 and stuff, trying to be like Russell Westbrook and stuff. But yeah, that is pretty neat. Greenville getting to the lane. Good move. Can't finish. Rebounded by Sandy Creek. That's number 2, T.J. Bickerstaff. And it's going to go out of bounds off of Greenville. The player to watch in this game is number 1, Evan Jester. He is coached by Anthony McKissick, and Greenville's head coach, Brad Woolsey, is going to try and slow down Mr. Jester. Evan Jester had 41 in the previous game, 42, against Gate City in an overtime matchup as Greenville's first on the board. That's number 24, Logan Shipley, the sophomore forward, as number 11, I think that's Dorian Goddard, with an emphatic block on the corner. But yeah, Greenville ended up beating, Greenville beat Washington Park, the team from Wisconsin, in the second round. And Sandy Creek beat Gate City in what was an overtime game, 96-91. Sandy Creek going up for the layup, can't finish it. Might see a couple dunks in this game, right?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Sandy Creek's Twitter handle is apparently Lob City South, so I think we know what they like to do.
It ought to be exciting if they get open down low.
If nothing else, we might see a couple rim rockers, but it looks like the ball is going to go to Sandy Creek after the turnover by Greenville. Sandy Creek running a press also, which can result in some turnovers and open court looks. So it's going to be a fun game regardless. Greenville also quite athletic, a little shorter, running looks like man-to-man defense, which is kind of interesting. Typically against teams like Sandy Creek, which are to the rim, to the rim, to the rim, slash back cut, you run zones. But looks like Greenville thinks they can match up man for man and slow them down. We will see. Number 3, Xavier Brewer, going to go up and underneath, can't finish. Rebounded by number 23, Takeem Young. Greenville, one of the better local teams, just on the other side of Johnson City. Like we said earlier, very good in football and good in other sports as well. Basketball, they're always competitive. Last year, they went to the sectional qualifier and were the 1AA runner-up. Had a record of 17-13. It's a very respectable record for Coach Brad Woolsey's squad last year. And their campaign off to a good start this year as well. Sandy Creek going to get to the rim, not going to be able to finish. And that's Xavier Brewer, the 6'8" forward. Going to go up and get fouled. Just to give you guys a little bit of an indication of the height we're looking at right now. Number 5, Jared Goffrey is the point guard. He's 6'4". Eric Williams is a 6'4" forward. Brewer, a 6'8" forward. Bickerstaff, a 6'7" guard, and Jester, a 6'7" forward.
They certainly have the size to compete in this tournament.
So the small guy on the court is 6'4". So that's pretty good size, I suppose.
In the previous game, that would have been one of the largest guys on the court pretty consistently with both of those teams. And
it's interesting to see that kind of height play against a small matchup because some of these bigger guys, the thing they hate the most are pesky guards. It seems like biting at their ankles and stuff like that. We're going to get a replay of this foul. That's number 4, Eric Williams, the forward, went up, got a foul. Looked like number 22, Dylan DeBusk, the guard wing for Greenville, tried to get a charge set, couldn't get it going though. Ball's going to retain possession for Sandy Creek. Very slow game to start out with. Feels like we should be having a lot more action going on, but it's been really slow. A lot of fouls, already 2 fouls on Greenville, and a lot of sloppy possessions. Still no subs for either team thus far. 3-pointer in the corner, not going to hit it. Rebounded by number 11, Dorian Goddard. Goddard, the tallest man on the court for Greenville at 6'3", would be the shortest man on the court for Sandy Creek. Down low, and that's where the height starts.
That's size.
That's Evan Jester. Jester is quite the ball player. Jester is a 6'7" senior forward at 6'7" with great athleticism to boot. Like we said, he had 42 in the game prior and looked like he might have had a block there, but reached over and got the foul instead. To the line now, Logan Shipley, the 6'2" forward.
A little too aggressive there, even though he did have the height advantage and kind of a relatively on the cleaner side of fouls go. But if you're not in position and you're coming over the back, they'll call that all day. Absolutely.
Especially, and we said this in the game prior to this, size always tends to go the opposite way in terms of benefit of the doubt. The taller you get, the less benefit you're going to get.
Right. They're not going to be lenient on these guys that are 6'7" and 6'8".
Absolutely
guarding
not. Guys
that are hardly 6 feet tall. If you're swatting around at them, you're going to get called for it.
Yeah. Even the slightest contact is going to get called. And that's not, it's neither here nor there. It's just kind of the way the game goes with officiating. As Sandy Creek recovers after a sloppy-looking rebound, now in transition, looking for a look. Just sloppy play down low from both teams. Can't hang on to the ball either way.
Aggressive press here, though, from Sandy Creek.
Both teams swarming to the ball. And it looks like Greenville's going to retain possession as that ball was heading towards Sandy Creek's bench. And we got Sandy Creek's coach up on the screen, Anthony McKissick. Last year, Sandy Creek was 21-8, region champions, and also made it to the Elite 8 in the state of Georgia. No easy feat. Good basketball players down there in Georgia. Tyrone is just south of Atlanta, just north of Macon, Georgia. So pretty populous area right there, and quite the basketball team made the trip up from Georgia here in Sandy Creek.
Yeah, their classification 4A down in Georgia with an enrollment of about 1,200 students. Both these relatively big schools, maybe medium, with Greenville coming in at about 913 students. They play in the AA classification here in Tennessee. But both public schools, you see a lot of schools here at the Arby's that are private schools and academies. Christ School and Wings Academy, for example. I'm sure we've got 2 or 3 more private schools that generally come down and fare pretty well. Tabernacle,
Colley is one as well.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's something that kind of skews the numbers, because Christ School at 290 students isn't really quite the 290.
Yeah.
It's not like Cloudland or a school around here that's a public school. It's 290. Not a knock against these small schools, but it is different to be able to have a little bit of recruiting going on in terms of athletics. Greenville is a school that's interesting because they get some transfers, but not a lot. They're kind of in no man's land between Johnson City and Knoxville. So they're a good-sized school, but not one of the largest. Now up 7-2 against the Sandy Creek. Very fundamental team, this Greenville Green Devils team, though.
That's right, and you see schools like Christ School that are able to, at times, take players away from local schools. That's happened a couple times to Dobbins Bennett and Science Hill. That some of their better players have gone and played at Christ School as a way to get an opportunity to be scouted a little earlier and possibly have more connections to play college ball and further on at a place like Christ School.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the nature of the game is you go where you get looked at. And this area, which is a good athletic area, and it is, doesn't really have the scouting potential and the athletic potential that maybe a Christ School in Asheville that goes and plays in Raleigh and the Durham area, which is, of course, a basketball hotbed has. Sandy Creek's the exact same way. It's in Georgia. We're going to get another look at this layup from Sandy Creek. That's Jester's going to come in. Jester so far holds the points record in this Arby's at 42. Gavin Grubb almost caught him in the previous game at 41. But like we were saying, a lot of these schools have the ability to draw in other players, such as Wings Academy out of the Bronx is an academy, so they recruit. They recruit from New York City, which, as you can imagine, has quite a bit of talent to pick from.
They play a lot of basketball up there.
About 8 million people is a pretty big pond to choose from, versus Greenville, which might have about 25,000 people. So that's something that these smaller teams have to battle from, but a lot of the times they make up this ground the way Greenville and Sullivan East and a lot of these small, and Gate City have done, and that's by strategy, by playing a certain way. Inbound plays like that shouldn't work against their athleticism, but they're well drawn up, so they do. That's number 0.
You see Cameron Miller, number 0, enter the game here for Sandy Creek. Quite different than their starting lineup of extremely tall, comparatively, players to Cameron Miller, who comes in at 5'5".
Almost a foot shorter than the second tallest player, or second shortest player for Sandy Creek. A little bit of a height gap. And that's number 2, Nathaniel Moon, in for the first time as well for Greenville, as Greenville turns it over. Going to get it to Miller. On cue, going to come in and get fouled on the layup. Thought he had it. Miller, quick hands and quick feet. Now there to get underneath the basket for a good look. 9-4 the score. If you want your own copy of this game or of any of the game played here at the Arby's Classic, make sure you visit power7.tv to purchase a DVD of each game. That website again is power7.tv, and you're sure to want many of these games and many others on DVD as well. These have been great games. We've had a couple, blowouts or games towards that in the opening round, but once we start getting the consolation and the winners bracket, these games start getting really competitive. And we saw one just previously with Sullivan East. Sandy Creek played in a really good one earlier where they had to go to overtime to beat a pesky Gate City team who always, year in and year out, has a good basketball team. And actually has a record holder as well in the Arby's Classic. Last year, Zach Irvin was a basketball player for Gate City, and he's actually back this year, although Gate City is now out of the tournament. And set the record for most free throws made in the tournament at 41. So quite the turn from him last year. I'm sure he's upset that Gate City made an early exit, but they had a very good game against Sandy Creek, and we commend them.
How far did Gate City go last year? They made it pretty far
within
deep. The tournament.
Both them and Crockett. David Crockett made the semifinals
Crockett
year.
Crockett finished 4th, if I'm not mistaken, which is a great finish for a local team.
I think
see Cameron Miller there with the finish, making an impact.
I think Jester was wanting an alley-oop off the backboard right there. He was already had his hands up ready to dunk it. Either that or he was hoping Miller would miss it, but neither happened. So we're going to have to hold our breath for a dunk later on. had a couple really good dunks a couple games ago. Wayne, Ohio had one against them. Marcus Watson for Buford threw a nasty dunk down. And that was really our first big dunk of the tournament. We've had a couple really good ones thus far, but Sandy Creek surely to fill in the bucket here soon. Jester struggling right there against Greenville's own 23, Takeem Young. Young, a strong defender down low at 6'1", 165. A lot stronger than his size may seem to indicate. Floater not going to go in. Rebounded by Sandy Creek. That's Jester. Now we might see one. There we go.
There's the first one of the game.
There's the first dunk.
Cameron Miller got the ball in the breakaway and knew exactly what to do with it.
Yeah, it's not hard to figure out what to do when you got a 6'7" guy that can put his elbow on the rim.
When you've
right
got
after
numbers
it.
on a fast breakdown court with some of these athletes that Sandy Creek has got in uniform right now, it's pretty easy to make a big play.
You know you're going to be able to see dunks when they're warming up and throwing it in from above the rim. And blocked from Jester on both ends, and looks like that was going to be a block too, but caught too much of the arm as he came down, getting a little aggressive. Down low, that was number 21, Cameron Height, the 6'3" sophomore forward. Young fella down there battling against the senior Jester. We're going to get another look at this dunk. Miller knew exactly what was going on, threw right behind him. No mistaking, easy two-handed dunk for Jester. Not a lot of flair on it, but a lot of power. 9-8 the score. Greenville in the lead. Stays 9-8 after the first free throw is gone. Who we got coming in, Ryan?
We'll see TJ Bickerstaff and I believe Reggie Fuller entering the game here for Sandy Creek.
I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say Reggie Fuller is probably somehow related to Reginald Fuller, the assistant coach.
It wouldn't surprise me.
And I think we might have a candidate for name of the year right there with Reginald Fuller. I'm sorry, Wadsworth. I think he's got you beat.
Wadsworth is a great name.
Riamello Wadsworth was a heck of a name to compete against. That's really the trophy you want to win. I mean, winning the Arby's Classic would be nice, but name of the year, given by,
big honor.
Given by Will. I was the only one that had a vote till you came here, and now we got 2 votes, so it's getting kind of interesting now. Sandy Creek down low, going to feed it. Good look.
Nice feed there to KJ Wilkins down low.
Wilkins, the 6'2" senior guard, finishes strong up over top of number 11. I believe that's Dorian Goddard. Goddard looking for it up top. Sandy Creek
trap here by Sandy Creek.
Trap, yeah. Up and under, not going to go. Rebounded. Goddard, not going to go as well. I was actually mistaken. That's number 23, Takeem Young. Very similar hairstyles between Mr. Young and Mr. Goddard. And they're also about the same height, so it's a little hard to tell from this angle. But Greenville's going to get it on the floor after number 22, Dylan DeBusk. Layup was errant. DeBusk with it now at the top again. Back over to, I think that's Goddard on that one.
Draws a foul from TJ Bickerstaff of Sandy Creek.
Actually, that was Takeem Young again. I messed him up again. It's hard to tell from the jersey numbers as well. My vision must be failing. It's not as good as it was in my younger years, I guess. 10-9 the score. Sandy Creek in the lead. A very slow game. Not a whole lot of offense going either way. A little bit of sloppy play. 6 fouls for Sandy Creek, 3 for Greenville. 9 1/4 is quite a bit. Look at Young go to the rim and get hacked by number 2, TJ Bickerstaff. Bickerstaff, the 6'7" sophomore. Didn't know they made him that tall as sophomores. My goodness.
You know, it's a little bit rare. He'll be another force for the Sandy Creek team in the next few years.
That's Miller in the corner. It's number 11, Wilkins. Wilkins turnaround jump shot, hits it over top of Goddard. Goddard playing the point forward right now. Sandy Creek running, looks like a trap press. Very quick hands, the Sandy Creek team. It's Takeem Young, left-hand floater, can't get it to go. Sophomore, that's a sophomore, number 24. I think I'm missing my name. What is that? Number 21. Cameron Height, I think.
Height.
Yeah,
Cameron Height might be in the running for one of the best hairdos in the tournament so far.
Quite the throw he's got going on. I like that. Sandy Creek going to be content to take the last shot of the quarter. Trailing by 1. No reason to give Greenville another chance. And they're going to take it. That's number 5, Jarrett Godfrey, 6'4" guard. Going to be hard to stop a guard like that can get to the rim. 5 seconds left. Time ticking down. Not going to have a chance to get an actual shot up. Greenville's going to trail 14-13 here at the end of the first quarter as we're in our second game of day 4 here in the 2016 Arby's Classic on BTES Power 7 television here, the 34th annual Arby's Classic.
Did you know that you are living in a gigabit community provided by BTES? So what does this even mean?
It means having access to unlimited resources and tools that promote continued job growth.
For me and my sons, it provides unsurpassed opportunities to further our education.
At my house, we have the ability to seamlessly game, stream, and connect multiple devices at the same time.
BTES, helping our gigabit community be a better place to live, work, and play.
Hello and welcome back once again to the 2016 Arby's Classic here at Bristol, Tennessee High School. BTES covering the Arby's Classic, the 34th annual Arby's Classic. This broadcast is a presentation of Power 7 Productions and is intended solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast or retransmission of this game or of the accounts or descriptions of this game are strictly prohibited. 14-13, Sandy Creek in the lead. Sandy Creek on the consolation side of the bracket after losing to Christ School in the first round. What was a very good matchup between the two teams. Christ School has great length enough to match Sandy Creek, length enough to actually surpass Sandy Creek and beat them in the first round. Sandy Creek with a tough draw. Playing now Greenville, a tough Greenville squad as well. Similar schools in terms of size. It looks like we got a good fast break going. Not going to be able to finish it though. Looks like that's number 2, Bickerstaff. TJ Bickerstaff getting the rebound, the sophomore guard. Sandy Creek running with a small lineup right now. Only one of their many, I guess we would call them giants, 6'7". That's kind of what they seem like to me. Only one of them in right now, and that's Bickerstaff. Also in is number 11, KJ Wilkins. Number 30, Chris Porter, the 5'11" guard, making his first appearance. Reggie Fuller and Cameron Miller. We're going to get another look at this foul. Looks like it's going to be with the body. I think they're going to call it on Miller as Miller bumped into him underneath the rim. Sandy Creek in the bonus, fouling Greenville now 7 times. Greenville subs.
We'll see Takeem Young come on. No, not quite yet. He'll work his way in here eventually.
They're going to call that a shooting foul, so he's going to come in after the first. Number 24, Logan Shipley, the sophomore forward coming in. Greenville, a youthful team. They've got 4 seniors and 1 junior. I've noticed that with a couple teams. Wayne from Ohio only has 1 junior, and so did Buford. Only 1 junior on both of those teams, very young teams.
Whole mess of sophomores there for Greenville. In a couple of years, they're going to have all kinds of experience.
And that's a good sign. And only 1 sophomore for Sandy Creek, so their team is pretty much here. They've pretty much matured. They're where they want to be. That's going to be over the back on Bickerstaff. Anytime your body is something other than straight up waiting for a rebound and you got somebody in front of you, that's pretty much over the back call, let alone when you're 6'7".
For these guys.
And when you're 6'7", it just makes it all the more obvious. Like we said earlier, though, Sandy Creek, only 1 sophomore on the whole team. A mess of juniors and seniors, though, so their team is pretty much right. They're a mature team.
We'll see Xavier Brewer re-enter the game here for Sandy Creek. Another one of their giants. Listed as the tallest guy on the team at 6'8". He's a junior forward.
And to be the tallest man on Sandy Creek is quite an achievement.
That's an accomplishment. They're a tall team. See him come down with the rebound.
Very athletic top to bottom as well. They don't have a true big man like you would expect in terms of girth or anything like that.
No.
They're very, very athletic top to bottom. And Greenville,
just long, and tall and long.
Greenville is doing what they need to do, though, to prevent those rebounds. Box out. I mean, clear that space, use your strength. That's Takeem Young with the ball. Young back up top to Goddard. The one way to rebound against these guys is crash the board once your post, create those lanes. That's the way you get these rebounds. That's how guards end up with 6-7 rebounds. Looks like we have a lane violation on Takeem Young. Don't see that call very often. Typically, that's only if a possession has lasted quite a while and you notice a guy camping down there, and it's been about 8 seconds, and well, it's about time, I guess, to call it.
This officiating crew was on it. Didn't take long enough. About lost the ball right there.
Sandy Creek having to face his man defense against Greenville, which is surprisingly rather stiff. Despite not being a very large team, Greenville having no problem slowing down Sandy Creek. Sandy Creek only scored 14 points in the first quarter, up 14-13 after the first. Kind of wild that it's such a low-scoring affair with both these teams being so athletic. That might be the problem. Good backdoor cut by Dylan DeBus.
They almost seem to be canceling each other out on the athleticism end. Been a lot of turnovers.
Greenville just plays clean. They play smart, and that's the big man, Xavier Brewer. 6'8" junior forward going up. Good finish by Brewer. 18-16, Sandy Creek keeping him at more of like a hand's length than an arm's length. but a little bit of a lead by the Patriots. That's Dylan DeBusk feeding it over to Nathaniel Moon. Back to DeBusk. DeBusk going to pump fake out to Moon. Very few threes taken, and on cue, Takeem Young misses one, and Sandy Creek recovers. Sandy Creek in transition. This is where they can get really dangerous, folks. Back in the corner. Deep three, almost from pro range, and a friendly bounce.
Knocking that down. Shooter's roll there.
Yeah, shooter's roll, exactly like you said. One thing you'll notice, though, from Greenville, and I know Greenville's down, and it doesn't seem like we would be bragging on them as much because they are, but they box out so well.
They do.
And that's the reason Sandy Creek is not dominating the boards, despite having a quite obvious length
Exactly.
advantage.
That's what you got to do. As in, well, Greenville's not really an undersized team, but undersized compared to Sandy Creek. They've got to be aggressive down low and maintain good position, and that's going to allow them to get these over-the-back calls that we've already seen a couple of.
And a lot of times when you box out, such as what you've seen with Takeem Young, as we get another look at the foul right there, one of the things that you notice with these smaller forwards is they're not getting rebounds. The forwards are not the ones getting rebounds. A lot of times it's the guards that fill the lane created by those forwards. Your guards crash from the perimeter through those lanes that these forwards create. And that's exactly what they're doing. Now they've backed into what looks like a man-matching zone or just a really loose man, one of the two. As Sandy Creek goes straight to the rim and finishes. Easy shot for number 5, Jared Godfrey. Greenville now pushing the ball, beating the press pretty easily. Greenville not really had problems with the press, have they, Ryan?
No, they've pretty much either passed it or been able to dribble it right up the court.
Sandy Creek with a lot of athleticism to be able to run that press has not really caused problems with Greenville. Greenville clears space really well. Understands how to take care of the ball.
Greenville with the recovery there again. Have another chance at it here. Clean block.
It was number 11, KJ Wilkins, the guard, going up and throwing that one out of bounds.
Not one of the taller players on the Sandy Creek squad, but he got up there and blocked that with conviction.
I think conviction is the right word right there. I think he was benefited by Brewer. Brewer was the one actually guarding the man, and he whiffed on the block, and then Wilkins decided to come in and clean it. It's funny when you see one of those guards go for a block and they get so excited about it. Typically, that's reserved for the big men. Usually they're the ones getting blocked.
Right.
Good feed down low, quick pass from Greenville. That's exactly how they're going to beat the Sandy Creek squad. Quick passes, quick and crisp.
Good pass and an easy finish there for Logan Shipley.
Shipley got a little bit of girth. He's a strong forward. You can see he's pushing Brewer all the way out to the three-point line. Brewer at 6'8", has got a lot more length, but not near the string. Jets are going to go to the rim and finish easy.
Wouldn't be surprised if you can catch Shipley out on the football field in the fall.
I don't want to catch him on the football field.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I don't want to meet him in the open field.
Looks like he could be a linebacker if he needed to.
I'm betting, I think actually Takeem Young was one of their standouts. Either him or Dorian Goddard. I can't remember which of the two. We'll look it up at halftime and give that back for you. But one of these is one of their standout football players as well. Multi-sport athletes at these small schools are not uncommon in the slightest. And a putback by Brewer. Good putback by the big fella. 27-18, Greenville gets a timeout. It seems like Sandy Creek, struggling a little bit, has actually started to pull away. They score very quietly, which is surprising.
Yeah, haven't been playing the cleanest game, but as you can see, they're increasing the deficit here between Sandy Creek and Greenville.
We're going to look at the putback by Brewer. Brewer chooses his length just to tip it straight back over. Not a lot he can do. Went straight up, not going to be over the back. Sandy Creek, though, inching away. It seems like they just kind of leak points. Points aren't hemorrhaging from Greenville, but Sandy Creek is just kind of leaking, and maybe that's something that Coach Woolsey for Greenville is trying to fix is these minor tweaks, something that if he fixes later on in this game, that Greenville can start coming back. One thing that you notice a lot between teams like Sandy Creek and Greenville is that they're not very accustomed to playing teams like this. Both these teams are used to playing teams of their own size, own stature, own style. Greenville will play Sullivan East and teams like that in playoffs. They're not used to playing a team where no guy's under 6'4". And, you know, Sandy Creek, to be said, as we get an and one from Takeem Young, is in the same boat. It's odd to see small teams like this against them, and it's kind of like in baseball when you catch a changeup, it's something that messes with you.
Yeah, it's an adjustment for both teams, and if I had to guess, I'd say Sandy Creek is used to playing some elite competition down there in Tyrone, being close to Atlanta and Macon both. Big basketball areas, so this is they're no stranger to competition.
Absolutely, and the one thing that's also worth considering is these teams have never seen each other. I mean, outside the Arby's Classic, When is a team from Tyrone, Georgia going to play a team from Greenville, Tennessee?
Probably not doing a whole lot of scouting.
No, probably not.
Teams like this.
Evan Jester in the corner, going to miss it. Rebounded. Young. Young had Goddard up, couldn't see him. In for the first time for Sandy Creek, number 22, Patrick Ebanks, 6'5" post.